Can't help but look down on this field, partner, and think about the history of this game and all the great players, all the great teams that have stood on the field for this moment. So special.
This game is so historic that while we call it the Super Bowl now, that wasn't even the name of the first couple. It's the AFL, NFL World Championship game before the Super Bowl really took hold. And think about the green.
And I think he's going to go. They're not going to get him. He's at the 30, the 20. Touchdown, Houston. With a first touchdown of this Super Bowl and a long one at that, as his guys are able to strike first. Here in this opening quarter. Matt Gay on for the extra point. And the Texans take a 7-0 lead.
Extra score, Texans 7, Redskins 0.
So now the other return teams out there as they'll try to duplicate what they just saw. And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. Darius Geis, his first carry of the game. He's going to be dropped following a pickup of 7 past the 30 to the 32.
A nice run here early on. It doesn't take a great play caller to realize you want to establish a guy of his caliber with runs like this early because they'll pay dividends as the game progresses.
They'll operate from the 32-yard line here, 2nd and 3. This is Geis. And he'll scratch out only about a yard up to the 32.
In order to play really good run defense when you're playing a 3-4, those 3 guys up front, the nose tackle and the guys they call the defensive ends, they're usually big people because they're going to have to eat up a lot of blockers because it's usually 5-on-3. And when they do their job well, guys who play on the inside, those inside linebackers, they're able to just roam and hit.
Now the throw on 3rd down, knocked away and incomplete. So the defense able to get off the field here on 3rd down.
And it's one of the goals of the game. They've got to be effective on passing downs. It's one of the few things defenses chart. How did we do on 3rd down? That's a nice start for them in this one.
And now the punter, Tress Way, as he sends this one away. Returnable for Thomas. A very good return there. Give him an even 20 yards. And the Texans will take over with a 1st and 10. Line of scrimmage, the 37 on 1st and 10. Out of the gun, Watson. Trying to force it to Hopkins, and it's intercepted. Reuben Foster picks it. And to the 43. So down inside the 45 to the 43-yard line. That's where they'll take over.
The Redskins take over 1st and 10 at the 43-yard line.
Here we go. It's our field. It's our field. Hey, it's all right.
Now after the turnover, here's Haskins. And he's got the hook up to Moore. And they're able to get this one past the 30 to the 25-yard line. 17 yards that time and a Washington first. On 1st down, this is Geis. And he's going to take this one down to about the 23-yard line. On the tackle, it's Randy Gregory. The last run got a couple. Here's 2nd and 8. Now Haskins to throw on second down. And that's going to be incomplete. A lot of contact, no call, and it's third down.
That would have been a great catch, but it's real difficult to hold on to it because it was contested all the way. Would have been a great play if he'd been able to haul that one in.
So the failure to connect on second down, that leaves him staring up here at a 3rd and 8. Third down, here's Haskins. And he finds McLaurin. His first catch of this Super Bowl, and it'll be good for a first down.
A gain of 15 yards. Complete to Terry McLaurin. First and goal at the 9-yard line.
From the gun, it's Haskins. And he's got it. And he is into the end zone for a Washington touchdown. With the first touchdown of this Super Bowl, as his guys are on the board here in this first quarter. CD, it seemed like they were so focused on the guys out wide, they forgot about him out of the backfield.
That's a really good point because you've got to communicate, and oftentimes when you start counting receivers, that's exactly what you do. You start from the widest receiver, work your way inside. Who gets lost sometimes? The back in the backfield. That's exactly what happened there.
And he got into the end zone. Now he's back out there to boom this one away, maybe with some frustration after the PAT miss. This is taken at his 4. And he'll get across the 20 before he's brought down at about the 23-yard line. The Texans offense ready to go here for their next drive. And last time, one play interception, so this offense, they should be fresh.
That's a good way of putting it. And I can't wait to see what they decide to do with play calling, because a one-play drive where you throw an interception, a lot of people think the very next time out, run the football, don't give them a chance.
Maybe play action?
I think maybe you go play action, show your quarterback, get a little confidence in it, and let him fling another one.
To throw again on second down. Watson, nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Matt Ioannidis. Credit him with a sack as he buries him for a loss of 10. Following the sack, it's now 3rd and long for Watson and the Texans. 3rd and long, it's Watson. Flush to his right. He's got his target. It's the tight end, Tyler Higbee. And he'll get this one way up just shy of the 45-yard line. That one goes for 30 yards.
And that one hurts defensively. They force him into 3rd and long, had the advantage, yet they give up the big play right there.
Yeah, their offense was already warming up on the sideline, ready to come out. So much for that 3 and out. Just like that, out of danger and up past the 40 now for 1st and 10. The first carry now. This is Johnson. And he'll be taken down, but not before he works it past the 50. 10 yards there, good enough for a Texan first down.
Tremendous blocking by the interior of the offensive line. They didn't just gash him there. They blasted a gaping hole for him to gallop through. I think if he comes back to the huddle, he better be giving them a whole lot of credit and thanking them for that much space to rumble.
They'll run it with Johnson. And a pretty big hole as he's down to about the 40. He'll get a nice chunk there on the first down run, and it's 2nd and 4.
A quick burst there, and he nicely bit off a pretty decent gain.
6 yards on that last play. Here's 2nd and 4. To throw is Watson. That's complete to his tight end, Higbee. And he's going to get this inside the 30. And they're going to have another first down here as the tackle's made at the Redskins' 28. Watson now, after the pick on the last drive, 3 for 3 to start this drive. It's 1st and 10. Back to throw, Watson, eluding the pressure right. Toward the right sideline, but it's incomplete. Before the game, they were running the route tree about as efficiently and effectively as we could have possibly imagined, but sometimes the passes just go awry.
Yeah, let's face it, when you're running the route tree in pregame, you don't have defenders breathing down your neck. You don't have defensive backs making plays on the football. Hard to replicate the intensity of the game in pregame.
Call it no gain on the run there, and now they'll be looking at a 3rd down.
On that play, it was the defensive front that won the battle. They out-leveraged the offensive line, got into the backfield, and held them to no gain.
They'll fake the handoff. Now Watson. And he's got the completion to Hopkins. And they're going to have another first down here as the tackle's made at the Redskins' 15-yard line. He's such a good route runner. Shows it there on third down. Very proficient and a good pass.
And you know what I've observed over the years in the NFL? The better a route runner you are, the more confidence your guy's going to have in you to go to you in important times because he can trust you.
And he can't find anywhere to go with it, and he goes down. That's Daron Payne with a sack that time.
No doubt that's a very good play defensively right there because you've always got to be aware that he can take off and make a big play with his legs. How about the way they were able to contain him? That also tells me the coverage was excellent downfield.
And he's in. Touchdown, Houston. From 17 yards out. And the Texans push further out in front.
In as many coaches' meetings as we sit in, we hear the word finish all the time, don't we? And on that play, the back actually finished getting into the end zone, breaking the last tackle. Tried to wrap up, tried to use the proper technique, just wasn't able to get it done.
And his kick is good, but flags come in. Looks like we're going to get a roughing call here on the follow-through. After the roughing penalty on the PAT, they'll kick off from 15 yards further upfield. And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. Haskins and the Redskins come up 1st and 10 at their own 25-yard line. Haskins looking to throw on 1st down. And the catch made. This is Emmanuel Sanders. 25 yards that time.
First and 10 at the 50-yard line.
Here's Geis. Another good gain. That's now 35 yards combined on those last two plays.
Despite the blitz, they're still able to pick up a nice solid gain. The disadvantage of blitzing often alters the normal spacing and run fits and leaves creases like they were able to exploit right there.
They go play action with Haskins. Trying to fit it into Moore, but it's intercepted. Picked up by Justin Reed. And they're going to take over right there at the 22-yard line. The Texans offense ready to go here for their next drive. And that last drive, a long drive, but not just that. They had a great air attack going. Do they stick with that?
I would think that they would, because if they were confident enough to do it on the last drive, starting backed up in their own territory, why would you change anything? They've got to be confident about what they're presenting and continue to do so.
Yeah, because the secondary, they really look clueless.
And that was amazing because that drive went and went, no adjustments and no big plays by the defense to knock the ball away.
On 2nd and 12, Watson flushed out right. Now he'll pull it down. All that gets him is just a yard, and now it's 3rd down.
They brought the blitz that time, and I thought they were going to get to him, but instead, he flipped it on its ear and ended up picking up positive yardage.
I thought he was dead to rights, but you are exactly correct, sir, able to turn that into a positive gain. Throwing on 3rd down, Watson. Oh, he's got a man wide open, complete. And a good tackle there right around the 30. Stops him short of the 1st down. They do get 9, but it leads to 4th down. On 4th down, here's Lachlan Edwards to punt it. Just a 30-yard punt that time. And it'll be Redskins football now with a 1st and 10. Out there ready for this next drive, the Redskins offense. And there are parts of their last drive they'd like to emulate. And, of course, they'd like to forget the inning, the interception. But they did put together, Charles, a nice sustained drive to get him down the field.
Yeah, and unfortunately for them, the only thing that matters is part two, right? Because once they threw the interception and finished off the drive, that does them no good to go back and say, well, you know, we had a good one going. Finish things off. That's the only way you can get it done.
Geis with a carry on second down. And he goes across midfield and down into Houston territory.
One thing to keep in mind, partner, especially in the second half, when you've got a running back of this size, of these dimensions, I can just tell you, attrition does set in for a defense because you're excited about hitting him in the first half. Maybe not so much in the second half, and some of these shorter gains turn into bigger runs later.
On third down, it's Taylor. And, boy, he is very close to a first down, but from where they're spotting that football, he's going to be a foot or so short. Give him a yard on the play, and he's definitely short. It'll be fourth down and a few inches. Boy, a call like this, certainly tougher to make in a Super Bowl, but they'll go for it on fourth down. Haskins on the keeper, and he'll be touched down here, but not before he does pick up the first. They only got a couple, but a couple's all that they needed as they convert on fourth.
First down. First and 10 at the 46-yard line.
On the ground, it's Geis. And he'll lose yardage here. Back at the 47. That's going to go as a loss of a yard, and it'll be second down.
It's a loss of a yard. Brings up second and 11 at the 47-yard line.
Play action. Haskins looking for Sanders here on the deep ball. And that's going to be incomplete. Good effort there, trying to take a shot, but it's third down.
One of the toughest things about playing defensive back is pattern reading, trying to figure out what they're doing. And on that one, they had the fly, just sending a guy downfield with the in route accompanying it, what people call a dagger route, trying to hit the guy underneath after the clear out. In this case, though, they're not able to get it done.
Yeah, they said forget the underneath route. They went for the guy on the fly, but as you said, incomplete. And now the third down throw incomplete as well. Here's Tressway now as he'll kick it away for the second time.
The Texans take over first and 10 at their own 20-yard line.
The Texans offense ready to go here for their next drive. They're out in front. Last time they had to punt it away. We'll see if they can add to their lead now.
They don't want to go out and punt it away again. This team now wants to get a cushion, put people away. They want to run their offense and have it end up in the end zone. On any explosive run, you can almost feel the ground shaking, and that's from the offensive linemen creating space for their runners. I had an old coach tell me before, they always told his runners, run around the offensive line in pregame. Get used to the ground shaking so you don't trip and fall when it happens in a game.
And he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. That'll be a loss of a yard, and it leads to a third down.
We all have habits. We can be somewhat predictable, and you know me pretty well on second down and short. What I like to say?
Play action.
Yeah, without a doubt. I thought that was a great spot to call it. Instead, didn't go their way, did it?
No, defense sold out for the run. Worked out well. Third and 2, Watson. He's going to launch this thing way downfield. And that will be incomplete. Well, they weren't scared to let it fly, but it falls to the ground and brings up fourth down.
It's always a goal, and it's really nice defensively when you can rally to the football and make sure there's enough contact to force an incompletion.
Force an incompletion and force another punt. Now Edwards to kick as he sends it away. That'll go as a 42-yard punt, but a net of 32. They had a 10-yard return. And possession will switch hands, first and 10. Out there ready for this next drive, the Redskins offense. The crowd maybe losing just a little bit of the edge after back-to-back punts.
They want some big plays. They want to see some offense. They want to see somebody break away, whether it's through the air or on the ground. Now it'll be interesting to see where the patience is on both sides. Each head coach, can you hang in there and not try and force something that could put your team in some jeopardy?
Haskins now 5 out of 10, 50% throwing it. Not so hot, but he does have a first down. Throwing to start the drive, but that one incomplete.
Over the dime look on defense. 2 extra defensive backs on the field and covered up essentially every blade of grass. That allowed them to disrupt the play.
An incomplete pass on first down. That leads to a 2nd and 10. 2nd and 10 now. Haskins. Now they set up the screen. That's complete. And past the 35, he'll be dropped a yard or two shy of the 30. It'll go as a pickup of 14 and a Washington first down. Line of scrimmage, the 31 now on 1st and 10. Geis. And inside the 20 before he's brought down. Give the Redskins 13 there and a first down. They held him in check in the first half, but that's his longest carry of the game right there.
So would this be the definition of fresh legs since he didn't get much done in the first half? Now he has a great opportunity. He's taking full advantage of it.
2 minutes on the clock in the second quarter of this Super Bowl. Coming up in a couple of minutes, we'll get you to Jonathan Coachman in Orlando. The coach will have stats and scores from earlier today in the NFL. Looking to throw, Haskins. He'll try and set up the screen. It's complete. And this one goes nowhere. Losing yardage back at the 22. So they had the big loss on that first down pass play and facing a 2nd and long. 2nd down, Haskins. And this is going to wind up incomplete. The coverage there too strong on the deep ball, and now they face a 3rd down.
It's been my observation there's been a nice variety of play calling defensively. You and I often talk about an offense's ability to keep a defense off balance with what they're doing. I think the converse has been true in this game.
Yeah, I think you're right. They seem to have gone off tendency quite a bit, but only the second quarter, a lot of time to change things. Now Haskins, 3rd and long. And that is incomplete. You can tell they were hoping for a flag there offensively. Several on the sideline motioning, hey, why not a penalty? Why not a penalty? What did you see?
Yeah, I think you've got to let them play, and the officials are instructed, if there's contact coming from both sides, no flag. Let them fight it out.
And forces 4th down.
A 39-yard attempt.
And Hopkins' kick is good. And the drive will wind up yielding 3. So chalk that down as an 8-play drive capped with a field goal.
Yeah, as a friend of mine used to say, they were moving and grooving for a while, but they couldn't keep the momentum going enough to get a touchdown out of it.
A 5-point game now as here comes the kickoff. And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. The Texans offense ready to go here for their next drive. And now with still more than a minute to go in what's been a tight game, you figure we'll try to see them move the ball downfield.
And remember, they get the kickoff to start the second half, so this is a golden opportunity for them to go down there.
There goes Duke Johnson. Touchdown, Houston. Duke Johnson, 75 yards. And the Texans are able to show off their quick strike ability. Not a whole lot to recap on that drive. Just one play, 75 yards to the house.
Yeah, it's a long way to go. And remember, rarely is it a straight line 75 yards, too. Got to have a little extra in there. So whatever the final number is, a well-deserved seat on the bench, a little oxygen if he wants it as well.
This one taken from the 7. And he'll take it up past the 25 to the 26-yard line.
Let's go. Their own 26-yard line.
Out there ready for this next drive, the Redskins offense. And a first half that really has not been kind to them. A late opportunity here to maybe make some inroads on this deficit before half.
And this drive's going to go a long way towards telling us whether they actually have a chance to come all the way back in this game or not.
Now Haskins on first down. It's caught by Sanders. And he'll be out of bounds right at the 40. It'll go as a pickup of 14 and a Washington first down.
That's good for a Washington Redskins first down.
Haskins now just 8 of 16 thus far, 50%, but it's first and 10.
51's the mic. 51's the mic.
On first down, it's Haskins. And nearly picked off. Surprising to see a defender of his caliber let it get away, but it does get away and it's second down. So second down and 10. Once again, they'll go from the 40. Again on second and 10, it's Haskins. And that'll be incomplete. Good protection that time, and they couldn't hook up on the long one. Now it's third down.
Feels like they're getting caught in between here because they had incompletions on first and second down. Now you got to worry a little bit about the clock because you prefer not to give them another shot here in the first half. But if you don't pick up the first down, guess what? You're likely going to have to.
So back-to-back incompletions, and that has them staring at a third and 10. Again, it's Haskins. And the throw there going to be incomplete.
You hear the calls for a penalty, but I just don't think so. I think in this situation, the defender was making sure his guy couldn't hold on to the football. So I don't see anything that warranted a flag.
No, I'm with you. There was contact, but I'm happy they kept that flag in the back pocket. Line as it's into the end zone for a touchback. The Texans offense ready to go here for their next drive. You've got under a minute to go here until halftime. You've got the good-sized lead. No need to do anything crazy.
No, there really is no need to do anything crazy. The smart play, go ahead and take your lead into the locker room and then try and add to it in the second half. But there's a part of me that looks at this and says, first half going my way, I have a little bit of a cushion. Let's go ahead and try and extend things. If you've got some good plays drawn up, you might want to think about them right here.
On second and 10, Watson. Wide open receiver complete. Now the Texans will burn the first of their timeouts as they get it right at the 32nd mark of this first half.
Let's make these babies cry all the way back home.
Off the draw, here's Johnson. And taking it across midfield and just shy of the 40. Now the Texans will use one of their 2 remaining timeouts as they'll stop it with 25 seconds to go here in half number 1. On first and 10, Watson. Escaping the pressure right. It's complete to Hopkins. And some space here. That good for 21 yards on the catch and run.
Sometimes it's designed, and sometimes you just have to know when to leave the pocket and move and make something happen. And on that play, he was able to get on the run and was still accurate throwing the football.
From the red zone now, Watson. Being chased out left. And now he's going to use his legs. And he will reach the 5-yard line before going out of bounds. The escapability in evidence there is that one good for 15 and a first.
First down. First and goal at the 5-yard line.
Two big plays in succession. Not sure this D knows what hit him, but now they got to get ready. It's 1st and goal. A shotgun snap for Watson. Flush to, and he can't get rid of it. He's taken down. And we're going to get a timeout with 2 seconds remaining in the second quarter. So with 2 ticks left here in the half, on is the field goal unit from the right hash, and this one just a chippy. Gay's kick is good, and that will do it for this first half. So these two teams will head to the locker room as we hit halftime in Super Bowl 56. As we send you a stone's throw away across I-4 to Orlando. There standing by is Jonathan Coachman, ready with our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach? These two teams sat through a longer than usual 30-minute wait, but we're back in action here in this Super Bowl. Out there ready for this next drive, the Redskins offense. They have the ball here for the inaugural drive of the second half. Pretty big deficit, though. We'll see what adjustments were made in that locker room.
And I never want to make something more important than it actually is, right? I don't want to create more hype than what is there. But this is I'm doing it, though. This is a really important drive. And we often talk about teams scripting plays to start a game. A lot of them script to start the second half, too. And they're scripting something that they expect to get them into the end zone and back into this game.
We'll see if that script is a good one for them. 2 yards, good enough for a first.
Not too many more ideal situations in 2nd and 2 in order to try and pick up a first down. They ran it and picked it up.
Ball up to the 35 now as they come up on 1st and 10. Throwing now, Haskins on 1st down. This one complete to Jordan Reed. And he slips up past the 45 before being tackled. 12 yards is the pickup, and it's good for a Washington first down. They'll run with Geis. 10 yards on the pickup there, and it'll be 2nd down.
I remember a coaching friend of mine used to tell his running backs before games, make sure you run and jog with your offensive line in pregame. Get used to the ground shaking when those big behemoths start to create space for you up front. He did a pretty good job of just following those guys through there for a nice explosive run.
So not quite a first down just yet as they come up on 2nd and less than a yard. They stay on the ground. Geis again. And he'll get it inside the 40 to the 39. They'll get 3 as the drive continues. It's a first down.
2nd and inches is oftentimes an invitation for an offense coordinator to take a big shot downfield because he feels like he can come back on 3rd down and pick up the first down. But sometimes you just don't want to break tendency. Stay with what you are. Stay with who you know.
Touchdown, Washington! In for the score. As they're now just an extra point away from getting back within 1 score. That's the score you felt they had to have here in the 3rd quarter to get back in this game.
And you know that there was an emphasis on their side. Hey, we know this. We know where we are. But sometimes that binds you up so much and you try too hard, you don't get the score. A perfect combination of urgency, yet relaxed enough to get it done.
Extra point good by Hopkins. And that will get them 1 closer. So the lead trimmed down to 8 as here comes the kickoff, and it's away. This is taken at his 4. And he'll make it across the 20 as his guys will set up shop at the 23-yard line. The Texans offense ready to go here for their next drive. And last time they got 3 points, but it was a chip shot field goal. And when you go to the sideline after a chip shot field goal, maybe the offense not too happy.
It's a balancing act, isn't it? Because you're exactly right. They're none too pleased that they didn't punch it in for 6 points. But they also have to remember they did put points on the board.
3 points is 3 points.
And in this league, you take points when you can get them. Not easily done.
On 2nd and 12, Watson. And he almost had it defensively. Could have been a game changer there in this second half. Instead, it's 3rd down.
Oh, man, that was close. The opportunity to change momentum, big play, right in his hands, unable to come down with it.
A sigh of relief, no doubt, on offense that fell harmlessly to the ground. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Montez Sweat coming in to drop him for a loss of 8, and it also brings up 4th. Here's Lachlan Edwards now as the drive goes backwards, so he's on to punt it away. And he puts a little something extra into this one, by far his best of the night. Here's Moore on the return. Fighting through, and he's got space. A very nice job on the run back there. He'll get 23 yards all told. And the offense will take over with a new set of downs. Out there ready for this next drive, the Redskins offense. And they're hoping to redo their efforts in the last drive when they got into the end zone.
And just think of what it's like now on the sideline, because when you score a touchdown, you have to go over and look at the tablet and see what you did on the last drive. When you scored points, it's a whole lot better view than when you're trying to figure out how to fix things there.
Looking to throw on 2nd down. Haskins. And he's got the hook up to Moore. And he is tackled inside the 40, not quite to the 35. 17 yards that time and a Washington first. Line of scrimmage, the 37 on 1st and 10. Now a run with Geis. And this time not quite to the 30. It'll be down at the 31-yard line. It's a 6-yard pickup, and it gets him to 2nd and 4.
Let's talk a little football 101 here, because one of the keys to advancing the ball downfield, success on 1st down. Huge difference, as we know, between 2nd and 4 and 2nd and 8 and 9.
51, Mike.
Off the play fake. Here's Haskins. Under pressure, and the Texans able to get in there for the sack. And their inaugural sack of the game coming from an unlikely source.
You mean it wasn't a linebacker? It wasn't a defensive end?
It was somebody like you.
Oh, my goodness. Yeah, that's a surprise for the offense. That's not what they normally get when they think about pressure.
Throwing on 3rd and long. Haskins. And he finds McLaurin. And he's going to be taken down with another 1st down as the stop's made at the Texans' 25-yard line.
I think it all came together there. In-breaking route, drove it with excellent pace. Money throw right there to move the sticks.
On 1st and 10, it's Haskins. And this one complete to Reed. And down inside the 15, shy of the 10. It'll go as a pickup of 14 and a Washington 1st down. This drive, it's been a good mix. 3 passing plays, 3 runs, hitting on all 3 of those passes, and the last one putting him in the red zone.
So wouldn't you think play action right here? Because you've got the ability and had the ability to run it and throw it. Go play action and take your shot at the end zone.
And he takes it in. Touchdown, Washington. A great play there. His 2nd touchdown of this Super Bowl as his guys have cut the lead down to 2. Now the Redskin offense will stay out there and go for 2. Haskins going to throw again. Goes right side. And he's got it. So they went ahead and went for 2 to tie the game, and it works out. Nothing separating these two sides. 24 all our score as he sends this one away. This is taken at his 4. And he'll take this across the 25. Couple extra yards up to the 27-yard line.
At their own 27-yard line.
The Texans offense ready to go here for their next drive. And on the last go-around, they really couldn't get anything going.
They had to punt from deep inside their own territory, which means you're going to lose the field position battle as a general rule. What they're looking for now is a little more consistency, move the ball at least a few times on offense, get a couple of first downs, and hopefully flip the field.
Yeah, just something to build off of. That's what they're looking for here. Throwing on 2nd and 14. Watson. Under pressure now, Watson, and down he goes. Matthew Ioannidis. Credit him with a sack, and it goes as a loss of 6. Following the sack, it's now 3rd and long for Watson and the Texans. Now a play fake, and it's Watson. Going deep for Hopkins. And almost picked off. I guess the good news for them now, it's 4th down.
Partner, the way this offense has marched up and down the field during this game, it's almost a surprise to see an incomplete pass on 3rd down, isn't it?
Yeah, they have had their foot on the gas all game long, but here finally stalling out. Here's Lachlan Edwards now, standing just outside his own goal line. He steps into this one, and this is a rocket. Returning it is Moore. Give him 11 yards that time on the return. And out will come the offense as they take over. Out there ready for this next drive, the Redskins offense. The last possession, these guys were able to tie the game with a touchdown. Now they'll have a chance to move out in front.
Yeah, let's give a big assist to the defense who got the ball back. The special teams went out there, handled things. They've got it. They've got momentum. I know they're eager to get out there and put it on display.
It'll go as a pickup of 14 and a Washington 1st down. Trying to get one more in here before the quarter breaks.
Let's go, defense.
One quarter remains here in the Super Bowl. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. Back to the ground on 1st. It's Geis. And he goes across midfield and down into Houston territory. Give him 9 on the carry that time, and they're set up with a 2nd and 1. Again, they run. Again, it's Geis. And he'll be taken down at the 44-yard line. A gain of just a yard, but it's a 1st down.
2nd and 1, and people want to run the football. This is where every back in the league is supposed to do exactly what we just saw there. Pick up the 1st down.
Throwing on 1st down. Haskins. And that's complete to Jesse James. And they'll wind up getting this one all the way down inside the 20. That'll be marked as a 27-yard pickup.
1st and 10 at the 17-yard line.
Set, ready. 15 on it. 15 on it. Pick it up, defense. Let's go.
From the red zone now, Haskins on 1st down. And that is caught. Touchdown, Washington. Terry McLaurin there to make the grab. And the Redskins have taken the lead. And they use that height on the outside to get the score.
We've seen the evolution of the wide receivers. They've gotten taller and taller, but they've retained their quickness and their speed. It's a lethal combination.
Always good to have wide receivers with height. Hopkins with the extra point, and the decision to just kick the extra point winds up successful.
31, Texans 24.
Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. The Texans offense ready to go here for their next drive. These guys had to punt their last possession, and that's become too familiar of a refrain. Too many of these drives just wound up going nowhere.
Well, you know how in baseball, when the pitcher gets a base hit and he's on base, they bring his jacket out to him to keep him warm? A lot of times the punter goes to the sideline, puts on sweatpants or a wrap over his leg to keep it warm. He might need a massage from the trainer right now from all the work he's getting.
An incomplete pass leads to 2nd and 10 from the 25. Throwing again is Watson. Johnson's got it complete. And he's taken down, but able to slip across the 35. That's good for a Texan first down, a 12-yard pickup. The first down carry here for Johnson. And he's dropped right at the 40. Gain of 3. They go to Johnson again.
He continues to struggle to find a crease to break off a big one and might need to just put that aside and just try and ram his way forward and get what he can.
It's a gain of 2. Brings up third and
The Texans on third down. They've converted just 2 for 6 thus far. This will be 3rd and 5. Out of the gun, Watson. Gets it to Benjamin. It's caught. And he'll take this one in for a Texans touchdown. A great effort there. His second touchdown of this Super Bowl, as they can now even this game here in the 4th quarter with the extra point. So on 3rd and medium, they dial up the pass, and it works to hit the end zone.
And it's really not a surprise to me. That's a throwing down in the NFL because of how tough it is to run the football. But what offenses like to do is still show run formations to make them respect it and throw out of those. In this case, they took a nice shot at the end zone and made it pay off.
And it's a pretty good return here as he'll get it up to the 29-yard line. Out there ready for this next drive, the Redskins offense. And for them, a touchdown their last go-around. Obviously, they'll be hoping to do that again.
And when you start plotting for this drive, when you start thinking to yourself, okay, what are we going to do? You don't go away from what you did before because that worked, but you have to be prepared for wrinkles and counters because you know they'll make some adjustments. Nice job by that defensive front there to hold him to a short gain on first down. Well played, I must say.
Yeah, only getting 1 yard. There was no room to run. On play action, Haskins. He's got a man on the crossing route. That's Moore. And he'll be taken down, but not before they work it across midfield. 23 yards the pickup there.
First and 10 at the 47-yard line.
They'll hand it down to Geis. And he's going to get this one down near the 45-yard line. Just a yard on the pickup there, and it'll bring up a 2nd and 9.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
And he is tackled inside the 40, not quite to the 35. 10 yards there, good for a Redskin first down.
They're making it look easy out there. Another first down. So far on this drive, let me do this little bit of math here. 4 plays, 3 first downs.
That's a pretty good recipe for success. So from the 36 now, 1st and 10. On the jet sweep, here comes Moore. A solid run on first down, gain of 7, leaves them with a 2nd and 3.
Well, no matter how they phrase it, staying on schedule, staying ahead of the sticks, whatever you want to call it, 7 yards on first down, that fits the bill.
Out of the gun, Geis. And he's able to get it to the edge of the red zone at the 20-yard line. 9 yards to pick up there, and it's a first down.
Oh, that's one to warm the hearts of all those old-school football players, isn't it? Tough, hard, gritty run, got behind his pads, bowled over a few people. Look at that one, right up the gut.
Saw it through 3 quarters, no reason to lighten up now. Getting down to the good stuff, all tied with 2 minutes remaining on EA Sports. So it's Redskin football here as we welcome you back. And let's see what they've come up with offensively after having time to talk it over. Running game working. They'll stick with it on first down. And a couple of yards as they move it from the 21 to the 19. And whistles, and we're going to have another stoppage of play as they call the timeout on defense with 1:53 left. The last run good for 2. Here's 2nd and 8. On the handoff, it's Geis. And he'll get this down only to the 18. Now the Texans will use one of their 2 remaining timeouts as they'll talk it over here before what will be an important 3rd down. Now it's Haskins. And that will be incomplete. 4th down now defensively. Charles, you know, they're just asking this crew for one more stop.
And you know that they're feeling the momentum right now, but they have to be very careful not to get over-exuberant, over-excited, and blow an assignment and give up the big first down.
Hopkins' kick is good. And they have taken the lead here in the final 2 minutes. Big kick right there to give them the lead in the 4th, but there is still time left for a final drive.
Did they score too soon? Post-game will tell us, right? Depending on what happens on this drive, that's how we'll analyze it. If the other team scores, they scored too soon. If they somehow hold on, they managed the clock exactly right.
The Texans offense ready to go here for their next drive. Good drive last time. Really effective passing the football. Do you maybe mix it up, now go to the ground game and surprise the defense a little bit?
I would anticipate the defense making some changes, but I wouldn't necessarily just absolutely go in the opposite direction. They're doing so well throwing the ball.
Yeah, why?
I wouldn't change it up until they showed me a reason to do so.
Now a throw downfield is taken in by his running back. The catch and run good for 24 yards. From the 50, it's Watson. And the catch made by Johnson. And he's going to get a solid gain of 9 before being brought down. 2nd and right at a yard. That last catch short of the marker by just a yard leaves him with a very manageable 2nd and 1. Forced out to his left. And this is incomplete. I see you nodding your head up and down. It's a very heady decision at this stage of the game. Out of the pocket, nowhere to go. Just get rid of it.
That's a smart play because you're not worried about your completion percentage, and you're also not trying to force it into bad traffic as well. Throw the ball away, live to fight another down.
They tried to throw on 2nd down, unsuccessful. Now it's 3rd and 1. Back to throw. And he's got the completion to Hopkins. And they're going to have another first down here as the tackle's made at the Redskins' 27-yard line.
That's another Texans first down. 1st and 10 at the 27-yard line.
Watch the screen, watch the screen, watch the screen, watch the air.
Watson now to throw. That's going to be caught. And they will get the timeout. So 3 seconds remaining, and they can trot out the field goal unit and try to send this one to overtime. So they have a chance to take the lead, 1st and goal. Remember, they trailed by 15 in this one. And a timeout comes in. The whistles blow with 3 seconds remaining. They come out 5 wide, 3 of them to the right side. Only way to get the lead here, of course, with a touchdown, and that's what they're gunning for on 1st and goal. One last throw here for Watson. And this is caught. A play for the ages. It's a touchdown to win the Super Bowl on the final play.
Brandon, you know I love boxing, right? You know I love big fights, right? I'd given them the standing 8 count a few times along the way. And look at how this one ended.
Yeah, they had, well, I guess 9 lives, just like a cat, kept fighting, and they're in the end making the huge play to get the game winner.
I guess that's the epitome of you always have a puncher's chance.
And the Lone Star State has a new champion. It's the Houston Texans, kings of the Super Bowl. And when this moment comes, I think you look back at all the blood, sweat, and tears, the offseason, the workouts, training camp, week 1, 2, 3, all building up now to say you're a Super Bowl champion. It's worth it.
It certainly is, and rarely do we have a team that hoists the Lombardi Trophy that didn't have their share of bumps along the way, didn't have to face some adversity in the journey, and now they get to just enjoy it and revel in it. And all offseason, they'll be signing their autographs with Super Bowl champion underneath it.
And they are the Super Bowl champs. The Lombardi Trophy is theirs, and so are bragging rights for an entire season. What a season it has been. Feels like we have been there every step of the way. Our entire crew doing a wonderful job. Thanks to my broadcast partner, Charles Davis. For all those guys, I'm Brandon Gaudin signing off. We'll talk to you next season right here on EA Sports.